welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today is the part 2 of our e-commerce app, and in this video what we'll do is that we'll structure the design for the first screen. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, you know what to do. Subscribe and let's just get to the code. Okay, so basically the first thing in this whole structure that I want is that to set up the styling for this application, because we have this thing, it contains some specific fonts and stuff. It has these images that we will be using. So the first thing that I'll do here is to set up the styling for that. Okay, and to do that, what I'll do is that I'll go to the Android section, and then in the resource over here, you see I'll create a directory and I'll call it font. Okay, and now in the Figma, when I click on any specific field, you see that it uses pop-ins. Okay, so you need to add the pop-ins fonts to the system as well. And from where you can get this, you need to go to this Google, and once you go to the Google, in the font section you can search for pop-ins over here and it will just get you this. Okay, and you can remove the font, you can download the font from here. Okay, I have already downloaded, so that's why it says that you have to do this. Okay, now once the font is downloaded, you want to rename it, so just like rename it to snake case basically. So make sure that you don't have any capital letter character into this, and once you do that, you just copy all the fonts and over here you will paste it. Okay, this shows error because this I somehow missed it. So I'll get over here and I'll refactor and then rename it to the way the other ones are. Okay, now the font is done. The next thing that I'll do is that I'll create a font resource file and I'll call it Poppins, right? And I'll create OK. And now over here, what we'll do is that basically we'll define the font. So let's say for us the font is font/Poppin black, let's say. Okay, the second thing for this is going to be font style, and it's something like you can define normal. The other thing is that you can define font weight, and for weight, let's say I call it's a 700. Font name, and let's call it Poppins black, something like this. And since I have created for all of them, I'll do is that I'll basically replace it like this. Okay, this is looking for Poppins, could be the bold italic. Okay, now you can see that I have all these font integrated into the system, and I have basically stored everything. Okay, now the next thing is to define it in our styles for themes. So let's say you have these themes and you get over here. Once you get over here, you see that we don't have enough for this. So the first thing that I'll do over here is that I'll create a font family. So I'll call it Poppins font family is equals to font family, and inside the font family, what I'll do is that I'll call it a font and something like this. Okay, and then for R, you need to import the R file. This is the first thing, and then you need to do for the rest of them as well. So I'll just copy and paste those font family stuff. Okay, this is one thing. Second thing is that what you'll do is you get rid of this commenter section. I'll create another typography, and that is going to be my app typography is equals to typography, and then over here inside this, basically let's call it this one. Okay, now inside this, what we'll do is that basically we define all the style sizes, all the font sizes, and structure it accordingly, right? So I'll just add this, and I guess I need to name it this. Okay, so what I did is basically we defined different sizes for the large, for display medium, different font sizes, different font weights and stuff. Okay, and once that is done, now the typography is completed, and now I'll get rid of this. Okay, and before getting rid of this, you'll see that you will see that we are using it over here. So I'll just use the app typography in the material theme section over here, and then this section, where is this, sorry, from here I can get rid of this, I can remove this. Okay, that is one thing. The second thing is that we need to update the colors as well, because we want our theme to be accordingly, right? And then you can see that we have these colors over here that are mentioned for primary, and for light we also have these. For now, what I'll do is that I'll just use the primary color that we have. So, and I'll copy that from Figma, and I'll get over here to the colors file, and over here I'll create blue, right? And oh, and then this blue color should be updated to this, right? And now for the theme, you can see that we have this purple used over here, so I'll use the blue, right? Now I guess some basic structure is done, and to show you, I'll go to this home screen and see if we are already using typography. Yeah, I guess we are already using the typography, so I'll just run it, and you can see that, okay, it says the font name cannot be found. I'll rerun it. We need to get rid of this as well. Now you can see the font is updated accordingly, right? The font can be seen over here. I just added a wrong entry for font name since I auto generated these. Okay, now the first step is done. Our font is in place. Our this stuff is done. Now what I'll do is that I'll go to the view model section. Now over here, what I need is that I need to set up this screen that I have over here, right? You can see it has this featured section and this more popular or most popular section. The problem with this specific section is that the backend that we use, it doesn't provide any feature or most popular type of categories. So what we'll do is that we'll use the category feature, and from the categories what we'll try to fetch some products. Okay, and how I am supposed to do that. So the first thing that basically what I'll do is that I'll make this call a suspend function. Okay, and I'll get rid of this, and also I'll make it private as well. Okay, and this get product now should take category string, right? And it should take a category from us, and from based on the category, it's also a nullable category. It will fetch the data. Okay, and we don't need this, we'll just straight away use this. Okay, so what it will do is that basically it will fetch the data. This should also return list of products. And now over here what we'll do is that we'll just execute it, and we don't need to update this. Okay, we'll just say return, and if it's a error case, what we'll do is that return an empty list. Okay, so that is one thing. And secondly, over here you see we have this, so I'll just update the success scenario. I'll call featured products, and then another list will be wall popular products. Okay, so that we have these two products, and this is also going to be a list of product. Okay, Now I guess I have slightly updated this, and then this get product section is also supposed to be handled in a different way. And now what I'll do is that I'll create another function and I'll call it private wall get all products, let's say. Okay. And then over here what we will do is that we'll call it view model scope dot launch. First thing, what do I miss? Oh, sorry, it's going to be function. Okay, so view model scope dot launch, and then over here what we'll do is that we'll call it this, and then over here for this I need to set up some more categories because these categories won't work. So I'll add some categories to this. Okay, let's say we want electronics and jewelry over here. So these two categories are added over here. Okay, and now I got this. Or we can do one more thing, is that if both are empty, we can also say that there is something failed or like that. Okay, now I got this, and then in it and over here what I'll say is that I'll call it get all products. Okay, so now I need to use this category, like I want to pass this to the backend. So I'll go to the network service, right? And over here you can see that I have this. I'll call it category, and it's going to be a nullable string. Okay, that's the first thing that I need to change. And now I'll go to the implementation of that, and over here you see that I have this, so I'll add this into this section as well. Now over here I'll do one more thing, since we have this URL like this. So first thing is that I'll call it wall base URL is equals to this. Okay, and I can make it a private as well. And over here inside this function I'll create a prepare a URL. So I'll say wall URL is equals to if category not equals to null, we add the category, else we don't, and then this URL will be used to pass. Okay, that's one thing. This setup is done, and now if I move back, like if I go to this section, it will say that we have this error. So I need to update the repositories as well. So what I'll do is that I'll add category to this as well, right? And then the same thing is going to be in its implementation as well, because that's where we did it, and I'll add this as well. So the categories are done. I guess these things are done. Now what we need is that this this function that we call here for the repository need as that as well. So I'll add this category over here as well, and then we'll paste it. And just one more thing that we should do, and that is that it should always be nullable, because there can be case where we don't want to pass anything and get all products. Okay, now this is done. I guess this use case section is done, and now when I call, you see over here you'll have to pass this, right? Okay, so this is done, and now this success state basically gets me two different components over here. So now I need to update the EUI screen for that, right? And now you can see that it says I don't know what is data, so I'll call it feature, or maybe you can call it this, and then from there what you can see is that you can get featured and data dot popular products, right? So this is how you can do it. And now what I'll do is that I'll get rid of this whole structure, and then I'll call item. Okay, and now inside the item what I'll do is that I'll create that design this specific section like this. Then we have this whole thing for that. Okay, so let's just get started. And I'll call composable function, and this is going to be home product raw, right? And then it needs a list. Along with that, it will also need a title from me, and that is going to be a string. Okay, and now this is saying that it's a lazy column, while this is going to be a lazy raw. And along with that, I'll also use a column for that, so that it shows a title, right, like this. But along with the title, what we need is that we need a, let's just make it a box first, modifier dot padding, and this should be horizontal. Okay, and now what I'll do is that I'll add this as a medium, and then another text that say view all over here. Okay, and we want the color to be color schemes dot primary color. Okay, and then this title medium sounds good. What more we can do is that we can use modifier to align this. So what I'll do is that I'll say modifier dot align center start, right, and the other one, this one should go as center end, and I'll make this to be modifier as well. Okay, so we have this box that has this padding, and then it's max width as well. So this title will go to the start, center start, and this will go to the end, and then beneath that we'll have a column. Maybe we can add a spacer over here, and then that spacer should be like 8 dp. Okay, now this is done. The next thing is that we want this card to behave like that card sections, right? So what I'll do is that I'll get rid of almost everything, I guess, or maybe we can say horizontal padding should be 8 for both ends, right? And inside the card, what we have is that we'll have a column. Okay, and also the size for that card should also be the size for that is going to be, the width is going to be 126 dp, while the height is going to be 144 dp. Okay, and other than that, I want the shape to be round corner shape, and round corner shape v16.dp. Other than that, we'll also use colors as well. So I'll say card defaults dot card colors, and then I'll say container color to be light gray dot copy, and then the alpha I'll use 0.3f, right? Okay, that is done. The card section is done. Now inside the card, what I need is that I need an image. The column needs to be the fill max size, right? And then now what I'll do is that I'll need an image, but the problem with this specific section is that we want to fetch the image from backend. So for that, what I'll do is that I'll use a SDK, and that is Coil. Okay, so for Coil, what I'll do is that I'll go to this presentation section, and over here I'll paste this. Okay, we can switch to the new dependency management system, and then we'll just wait for this to load. And once that is done, we'll be able to continue working on this. Okay, now meanwhile it's start to build. We should have that async image, and now you can say that the product dot image should be there. Content description can be null. You don't need the image loader. Okay, now this is done. And what we'll do is that we'll say modifier dot fill max width plus the height is going to be 96 dp. Okay, and then After that, we'll add a spacer, and then that spacer is supposed to be modifier dot size of 8 dp, and then we'll have a text with the body medium and another text with the, and this is going to be, for now let's just use it this way. We'll add a dollar sign and then this. Okay. Body medium is basically for us. If I go to our typographic function class, what we need is that we need the 14sp, this one, right? Body medium. And for the other one, we need the body small as well. So I'll use body small for this. So basically I'll use font weight to be font weight that semi-bold. Okay. And what do we have left? I guess that's pretty much what we have right now. And now I'll get over here to this specific section and I'll do a couple of things that I need. The first thing is that I'll wrap everything in under a scaffold. The reason for that is that basically we would like things to be handled in a proper way, since everything was overlapping. So I'll add this, right? And now inside the scaffold, what we'll do is that we'll use this whole state setup that we created. And now in the home section, you can see that we don't have that. What I'll do is that I'll create a home, or maybe you can, yeah, let's call it composable function home content, and it should get these two things from you. The first one is item that says this, and then this features, and then now what I'll do is that I'll call it this, something like this. Okay. Now one thing that I would like to do is that if featured dot is empty, if sorry is not empty, only then we use this, right? And if popular product dot is not empty, only then we'll show the home products. Okay. And now let's just, for testing, see what we have done till now. Like, I've done plenty of things, so let's just wait and see if what I did is actually looking over here properly or not. Okay, now you can see the app has loaded, and oh, this looks really bad, the first thing. But yeah, the second stuff looks pretty good, I would say, because you can see that the images are loaded and we have this gray background. Unfortunately, the images are not looking that good because of why. But other than that, uh, things looks good, right? This section is looking good. The next thing in this specific section is now to have this search field and this header section, right? And these should be pretty straightforward, so let's just implement those. And now I'll get over here in the home class over here, and I'll call it a composable function profile header. Okay. Now in this profile header, we have these this basically a user profile, but since we don't have that implementation done for now, so what I'll do is that I'll use a dummy image for that. And let's just create a box now. We don't want the header, we just need this. And then the second thing is that we need padding. So horizontal padding is going to be 16.dp and vertical is going to be horizontal should be 8, I guess. Yeah, but I guess we can fix that later on. And then after the box, what we'll do is that we'll create a raw, and this is not going to be like this or this. So now we have a raw, and this raw needs to have an image. Okay, and then image will say painter resource, and then r dot drawable dot IC profile. I'll use this for now. I don't have it right now, but what we'll do is that we can import that, right? So you can see that we don't have this IC profile, and so I'll click on this, and over here I'll just export it. Okay, and once it is exported, I'll copy this, and then I'll go over here into the drawable section, and I'll paste it with the name IC profile. Okay, so once I do that, you can see that this will be updated, and then after the raw, we'll have a column, or maybe we can have a spacer and then a column, and then this column should have two different text. This is going to be body small, and then that is title medium. Okay, and this is the first section, right? The second section for the header, do we have anything in the header? Yeah, we have this icon button, so we'll export this as well. And once we export this, we'll import that vector asset. I have already selected that, so I'll just use that, and now you can see that this is over here available. I'll use 17 to make it more in the center. Okay, so I'll center this, and once that is in center, I'll go to the home screen, and then now inside this, after this raw, I'll create another image with the notification, and this is going to be center, and we also need to align this as center start, so that center start. Okay, and now this profile header will be added to our lazy column section over here, so let's just call it this. Maybe we can add some spacer to the top as well. Not 16. Do we have added anything? Yeah, we have already added, so I guess this looks really bad. So now you can see that I'll have a header on top of that as well. We'll fix this loader as well. This looks really bad, but yeah, this looks good. The image is quite small, so I'll just add this image. I'll add some size to it probably. Where is the image? Over here, and then I'll say something like this. Yes. Okay, you can see we have this hello John Doe, and then this icon. For this we still need some stuff, so what I'll do is that I'll call it circle shape, and then I'll call it a background. For background, what we'll do is that we'll use an alpha, and I guess once we do that, this will have a round shape now, surrounding by it, but it looks quite small, so let's just add a size to that as well, and then add some padding as well, so that it just doesn't go outside. I guess that's something we should do, or maybe after the applying the colors to the background, we'll do that. And now I guess if we do that, it will add some colors to it, a background color to it. Okay, sounds good, but the padding doesn't work. So what I'll do is that I'll also use content scale dot inside. Now let's do it again, and now hopefully this will be reduced to a smaller size now. Okay, now this section is done, right? This is done. The second section in this specific design is this search bar. We need to add this search bar. The first thing is that we need to export and use this as well. So what I'll do is that basically I'll get over here in the drawable and then I'll import a vector assets. I guess it was this, and I'll call it IC search. IC search. Okay, and then I'll finish it. So now I have this search bar over here, and then I'll go back to home screen. Go back to home screen, and now I'll call it a composable function search bar. Okay, and inside the search bar what we'll do is that for now it will say value string and on text change unit. Okay, and now what I'll do is that basically I'll just create a text field. Value is going to be value, on text change is going to be on text change, and other than that what we'll do is that we'll use a modifier dot fill max width. Then what we'll do is that we'll use, I guess that's done. Another thing is shape, so I'll call it round corner shape for that, and this is going to be 32 dp. Then I'll go for leading icon, and inside that right, this is going to be IC search. Modifier size should be 24, which is fine. And other than that, what else do we need? We need colors. Okay, we need to remove color. So what I'll do is that I'll call it text field defaults dot colors, and inside color what I'll say is that indicator focus indicator color, that's going to be transparent. Unfocus also. Okay, and what else? I guess that's pretty much what we need. Do we have anything? Yes, we have a, and then we have a placeholder as well that has a text that says search for product, body small. Okay, and now this search bar should be used. Now I'll use this search bar over here as this. Okay, now let's search it. No, run it and see. Now you can see that we have the search bar in place and we can do stuff, but there are a couple of things like we want this to be leaving some space from both ends, right? And then in the bottom as well. So I've added the bottom one, but for the other thing, I guess what we can do is that we can add dot padding horizontal, that's going to be 16 dot dps, and also the background for container color. So the focus container color is going to be this, and unfocused also this. Okay, this will basically reduce the color of this specific search bar. Right now it's just like too dark, but then we'll make it a little bit more lighter, and then this time now it will leave extra spaces from both end as well. So now the search bar is in place, the featured products, popular product, view all, and the structure is done. Okay, so this is done, and now there is a couple of things that I need to fix. The first thing is that it says 16 and semi bold, while I use this title, that is title medium, and if I go to this section and look for title medium, the font weight is medium, so I want to make the font change. So I'll go font weight and make it semi bold. right? Second one is this text as well. It's also semi bold but with 14 semi bold, right? And now if I run it, now we should have these semi bolds. We'll get rid of this. And inside the product item, what we need is uh, max line is equals to 1. Also, the overflow should be text size text overflow dot ellipsis, so that it's just on the 1, right? And now let's just run it. This time we should also see the um, price as well. Now you can see we have the price, right? And we need to change the color of our price, so we'll just use the primary color for that. And now if I look into my design, and this also is semi bold, so we need to update the font weight as well for this. Font weight semi bold. Now let's run it again. And now you can see that this is pretty structured accordingly, right? And this is how these products are looking. Okay, so I guess that's it for today video. In this video, what we have done is that we created this home screen that fetches basically featured and popular products. In the next video, what we'll do is that we'll add a categories bar at the top of it, from where user can like click on different categories, and then this view all will basically take us to a screen where user will be shown a different view for the products, and same goes for this one. And then we'll definitely add some navigation and stuff like that. But for this video, I'm wrapping it up over here. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, what are you waiting for? Go and subscribe to my channel. So please comment down below if you have any questions, feedback, or suggestion. And I'll see you in the next video. So till then, happy coding. Bye.